Welcome back to Couch Collectibles. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. In today's video, we're looking at some silver Morgan dollars that are worth money. We'll show you guys what to look for on these Morgan dollars that can give them a lot of value. And of course, there's always some different coin prices for these silver dollars. So let's just hop right into it. Don't forget to go check out all the other coin videos here on the channel. First, we're gonna look at the 1887 silver Morgan dollar. Alright, so first up on these coins, one thing you want to look for on the 1887 is a 7 over a 6. So you can see that there on the right side of the 7, that little line there, that is part of the 6. Now something else you want to look for as well, besides the 7 over the 6, is a double die obverse. So that is doubling taking place on the obverse, or the front of the coin. And you can see that doubling there taking place on the stars of the Morgan dollar. So look at that with your coin microscope. I have coin microscopes available on couchcollectibles.com as always. And here is that coin, that 1887 Morgan dollar with the 7 over the 6. Now this is the O mint mark, so if you're not familiar with where the mint mark is on these coins, it is going to be on the reverse here between the D and O of the word dollar. You can see it there in the middle. So that is a New Orleans minted Morgan dollar. And of course, like I said, 1887 with the 7 over the 6, what we just looked at. Now this coin sold for over $37,000. And that is because it's got the 7 over the 6 and it's got a high grade, which gives it a lot of value. This coin is graded at a mint state 65 by PCGS. That's where the value is going to come from. A lot of it is that grade. The coin grading scale goes up to 70, 70 being the best. This is at a 65, so very high grade there. Alright, so let's look at some different prices before we look at some other stuff. Now this is going to be an 1887 O mint mark. Now it's very worn. You can see that it's only graded at a 1. Now again, this is the 1887 O mint mark. Now keep in mind, for this coin and for this specific mint mark, they produced around 11.5 million of these coins. Now coins like this are not going to sell for a lot of money, you know, under 20 bucks, probably 10 bucks. I mean, honestly, I would never even buy something like this, to be honest with you. But if we look at a high graded version of this coin, an 1887 O mint mark graded at a mint state 66, doesn't have any types of errors. The high grade is what gives it its value. This coin sold for over $40,000. $40,000. Now same thing with the 1887 no mint mark. The coin is graded by NGC at a mint state 68. So that is what's going to give it its value. And this coin sold for over $11,000. Now for the proof coin of 1887, this is graded at a proof 68, so another high grade. This coin sold for $90,000, over $90,000. Now of course, you know, there's not going to be many of these out there in the world. An 1887 proof graded at a proof 68. I'm not sure on the population of that coin, but I would imagine there's not many of those out there for it to sell at that price. Now here's an 1887 S mint mark. The coin sold for around $35. It's been cleaned. It's not in the best shape, only graded at an extra fine 40. And this coin, like I say, a little over 30 bucks. So never clean your coins because that's always going to devalue them. For the 1887 S mint mark, we see that S mint mark there on the reverse of the coin. This is graded at a mint state 66, and because of that, this dollar coin sold for over $8,000. Now also on your S mint marks, you want to look for a RPM, a repunched mint mark. So here's an example of that on the 1887 Morgan dollar. Now here is that coin, the 1887S with the RPM. This coin sold for over $2,700, so 2,000 bucks. You know, of course, it's got the high grade again, mint state 65, so that is, you know, the grade on these coins are going to be super, super important when determining their values. This is the 1878 Morgan dollar, okay? Silver Morgan dollar here. Now, there's 3 different ones that you can look for here, okay? So, for the 8 tail feathers, we look here on the left side. You can count those. If you want to pause the video and count the tail feathers, you will see that they got 8 tail feathers right there on the screen. Alright, so 8 tail feathers, they only produced a little over 749,000 of those coins. So they are super rare. And then you got doubled feathers, where we have pretty much 7 over 8 tail feathers there, and you can see that there as we zoom in on those feathers. If we go over to the other picture where we got 7 tail feathers, which again you can pause the screen and count those if you would like. Now 7 tail feathers, they produced over 9.7 million of those coins. So a big difference from 8 tail feathers, where they only produced around 750,000, to over 9 million for the 7 tail feathers. Now there's also other 1878 Carson City, 1878 estimate marks. So there's different ones of those as well. Just know that we're talking about the different tail feathers. Alright, so if we look at some coins, here's an 1878 with the 8 tail feathers. You see on the coin slab it says 8TF. So that's abbreviation for the 8 tail feathers. Now this coin here is extremely valuable because of that, because of it being a low mintage coin, as well as its high grade. So this coin here sold for over $35,000. Now if we look at the same exact coin in much worse condition, this coin is still worth some good money. This coin sold for over $480 in this condition, graded at a very fine 30. But again, it's got that 8 tail feathers, low mintage, so that is why it's going to have some value. Now, if we move on to the 1879 Carson City mint mark. So they only produce 756,000 of these coins. And by the way, for the Morgan dollars, we are looking at mintages, I believe, under just 1 million produced. Alright, so the 1879 Carson City. Now on the reverse, you will see the Carson City, the CC mint mark will be at the bottom, right above the D and the O in the word dollar. So that's where you're looking for your mint marks on the Morgan dollars. Now this coin has got an extremely high grade, and of course it being a low mintage coin, it's going to sell for a lot of money. This coin sold for over $49,000. I would imagine that there's not many of these coins this year, this mint mark, out there with this grade. That will give it a lot of value. So if we go to the 1879, again, Carson City, that isn't in the best condition, this coin is graded at a very good 10, and this coin only sold for around $200. So really the condition of the coin is, the grade of the coin is gonna, determine the coin's ultimate value. So let's move on to the 1880 Carson City. They only produced around 590,000 of these coins, so that's why they're valuable. Again, this is a high grade. This coin sold for over $19,000. If we go to the not so high graded version of this coin, this 1880 Morgan dollar sold for around $180. So a big difference because of the grade of the coin. Now if we move on to the 1881 Carson City, they only produced 296,000 of these coins. So these are super rare coins right here. This coin is graded at a mint state 68. I could not imagine having this coin where they only produced less than 300,000 in this condition. This is like super rare. So this coin here sold for $48,000, a little over $48,000. And then again, if we look at this coin, here's an 1881 Carson City, not great condition. You can see that it's definitely worn down a lot. And this Morgan dollar still sold for over $230. Next up is an 1885 Carson City. Now again, this is a very low mintage. They only produced 238,000 of these coins. So they are super rare. The high grade's gonna give it a lot of value. This Morgan dollar sold for over $18,000. Now if we move on to this other dollar coin, again, same coin, just worse condition. This coin sold for around $400, and you can see how worn out this coin is. Alright, so moving on to the 1886 S mint mark. So we can see that there on the reverse of the coin, the S mint mark. They only produced around 750,000 of these coins. Again, this being the high graded version of the 1886S. This coin sold for over $39,000. So if we go to the lower graded version of this coin sold for a little over $80. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.